What's up, everybody? Cody here with another episode of Everybody's Top 3. I am joined today with my co-host, Kristen.
What's up?
Today, we are going to do top 3 slashers. Kristen, what is your number 3?
My number 3 is Michael Myers.
Yeah?
Yeah, these aren't actually in any order. They were in what I remembered that was in my brain because he definitely is like number 1. But anyway.
I actually switched mine around, like the order, like multiple times just today.
Oh, well, I did
I was
this
just
right
moving
before
the numbers back and forth.
This isn't in any order. They're all equal, I guess. But he's from the Halloween series, and to be honest, I never saw the old ones. I only saw Rob Zombie's.
Are you fucking nuts?
But Rob Zombie's is great.
Yeah, Rob Zombie's is great. I like Rob Zombie's for sure. But the old one, the original one, is fantastic.
I don't like that actress.
Such a great movie. Ooh, Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yep. Because when I saw her first was on Freaky Friday. Okay.
Yeah, fuck that movie.
Yeah, so, like, that was my impression of her.
Frankly, I mean, I don't think she's bad, but she's not, like, my favorite actress of all time, you know? She's great in Halloween. Halloween and Halloween 2 are both great movies, and Knives Out was good. Other than that, I'm like, nah.
I wanted to see that. I didn't see that.
It was really good. It was a good movie.
But
basically, anyway, let's talk about Michael.
Basically, he was, like, a child who murdered his sister. What was her name? I didn't write that down.
Laurie Strode.
Yep.
Well, no, Laurie was the one that survives. I don't remember the name of his other sister.
Okay, well, he murders her hard. Then he gets, like, sent away, and then to work on his mental health because obviously he's not okay. And then he comes back. He, like, escapes from this. He, like, starts making masks and stuff while he's in there, which is why he has, like, the mask. Because he, like, So this is why I like him. He reminds me of my little sister who I think would kill somebody. I'm being
Jesus
honest.
Christ.
I hope she hears this. You need help. Anyways, like he would kill like animals and bugs and stuff, which is a sign of like
Oh yeah, that's
like
sociopathy.
So this is like really realistic. And like my sister did that shit when she was little. So then like it reminds me of his sister, but anyways, he would like kill stuff when he was little. Like he had all the signs of being like this murderer, and then he comes back 15 years later. Like he escapes and then goes back to, what was the town I did? Dewey? Was it?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I didn't write it, but he returns like 15 years later and like kills more teenagers, and then he like finds his sister, right?
Yeah, I think Laurie, in that movie, I think they make Laurie Strode his sister, and I think they make her his sister in Halloween 2.
Yeah.
But when John Carpenter made the first Halloween, Laurie Strode was not supposed to have anything to do with Michael Myers. It was just a random attack.
So it was
supposed to be in the original.
I'm confused for some reason. So I watched Halloween this year, and it was the one when like the old man comes back and he like she's like babysitting with her friend, the sister, and he comes back to kill her. And then like, is that the second one? Because the one I like the most is when he's
Are you talking about the new ones?
Yeah.
You said you haven't seen any of the old ones.
Yeah, I'm talking about only new. So like the
Rob Zombie. Because then they just made a new one that has Jamie Lee Curtis in it too.
Yeah, not that one.
Yeah, okay.
So there's 2 Rob Zombie ones, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so the one I like the most is the one when he is in like locked up and that guy's in there it has Rob Zombie's wife in it. It shows him killing his sister while she's with her boyfriend.
Yeah, that's the first one.
Yeah.
And it's like a lot of it is, well, at least like the first like act is.
That's the first one.
The kid.
Yeah.
In the insane asylum, and he like kills that other kid with a log or something.
Yeah, and it has that Spanish dude in it that's in a lot of movies.
Yeah, Danny Trejo.
Yeah. That's
He's
the
like,
one.
Mikey, I was always good to you.
What was he, a janitor in that or something?
I think so, or an orderly of some sort.
Yeah, and that's the one I like. But the one I watched on TV, which was also Rob Zombie, is I think the second one did that, which was like.
I don't remember much of the second one.
It's awful.
And
he extends the ending like he does in every fucking movie. You think he's dead, then he's not, and then and like. It was bad. It's just like it's Halloween night, and then the sister doesn't know that Michael Myers, she's adopted.
Yeah.
And then she doesn't remember that anything, obviously, because she was a baby. Like this is the baby sister.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then, like, she has no idea about
he murders
her past.
like his older sister, like his teenage sister.
Yeah, because she was awful. She was awful. Like I get it. And then, she's like really annoying in the movie, first of all, and then she's like babysitting her friend's kids or something, and then he just comes and fucks him up. Like he kills her best friend, and then these two little kids are running around with the sister because she's babysitting them. And then the guy that's trying to help him, like his therapist, is like...
Loomis, I think is what his name is.
Yeah.
Dr. Loomis.
Yeah, and he's like trying to... Because he's like warning the cops, like, this is Michael Myers. He just escaped. Like, he hasn't seen him in forever. Heard he escaped, went back to the town because he knows he's going to kill the sister. But he ends up not... Like, he hurts her, but he doesn't want to kill her. He, like... kind of is like, it's weird. It's really weird.
The Rob Zombie movies in a really long time.
I didn't like that one. It wasn't that gory or anything, but the first one's good when he actually like it shows like his story. I like that one.
Yeah, it got a lot of criticism for that, like as far from the critics, and I think it's a lot of people who enjoyed the first movie, the original. Yeah. But a lot of people had a problem with it showing him as a kid in the insane asylum. I liked that. I thought that was cool. I thought it was like, because it's the thing. It's, I guess, really, if you think about it, all the critics would have had a problem if Rob Zombie just made the same fucking movie too. They would have complained about it too.
He copied, yeah.
So it was. I thought it was awesome that he was like, well, if I can get to remake this movie, I'm gonna make a different fucking movie.
And
I'm not gonna just make Halloween. Yeah. I'm gonna make a different movie.
And he squeezes in his wife being a whore in it, being a stripper mom. He always has to slide that in there.
He's always going to show her ass at some point. And it's never like for any reason. It's just like randomly her pants will just fall down. It's like, hey, there's her ass.
She's a stripper. Of course, she's a hoe. That's just a little part I need to put in all of my movies. And then...
I mean, he did it in his music videos too.
Yup. And in all of the Devil's Rejects, House of a Thousand Corpses, she's a hoe in all of them. She's a little slut.
Yeah. Well, actually, she wasn't in Lords of Salem.
Is that the newer one?
No.
What's that?
A few years ago.
What's the newer one?
It's about witches. Well, he had two newer-ish ones.
It had the clown dude in it before he died.
That would be Three from Hell. She was the same character.
Oh,
she was
okay.
Firefly.
I never saw it.
It wasn't that great.
Yeah, that's why I haven't, because you told me that.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, I have it. I think I have it, and I've definitely seen it, and it's not that great. But in Lords of Salem is nothing like his normal movies. It's like a witch movie.
Well, I would be into that though.
You might like it. It's not like a violent, gory movie. Yeah. It's like more of a psychological horror.
I like that.
Yeah, but it's her. She's the main character, and she's not just a hoe. She's like a radio DJ, and it's just a normal, not slutty. She's not a stripper for once.
He's like, I don't really like this. We have to go back.
yeah, because then the next one is just the same character that's always a hoe.
But all right, what's your number 3, dude?
My number 3 is Ghostface. Do you know from Scream?
That's his name.
Yeah. I mean,
I call him Scream. Like legit, I thought his name was Scream.
Well, he's Ghostface is kind of. I think it was more put on him afterwards. In the movie, they call him like the something slasher. I can't remember the name of the fucking.
But that's
town,
a good one. Now that I know what you're talking about, yes, that's a good one.
You're just gonna judge every one of mine, aren't you?
No,
that's what you're here for. You're here to judge my opinions.
No, when I do anything with Just You, I'm always like, it's gonna be shit I don't know. So I was just expecting like.
I assure you don't know my number 1.
Okay, well I know who Scream is. I thought his name was Scream, and that's a very good one. Okay.
Yeah, they usually call him Ghostface. He first appeared in Wes Craven's 1996 film Scream. Mm-hmm. He's been portrayed by a lot of actors because he's actually unlike a lot of slashers, he's a real human. Yeah. And when I say he, I should say they, because it's every movie they kill him. They kill whoever is doing the murders. Yeah. And then the next movie, it's somebody else that's just dressed the same, basically. But,
okay. So when I first saw this, I was like really young, like 5, 6, and my dad and his wife brought me to a drive-in to watch that.
I wish I could have seen it
at a young age.
No, I watched it when I was really young too at a friend's house. My friend his mom had all 3 of the first 3 original ones, and I watched them all like in a row one day. I think she was babysitting me.
I don't remember any I just know it's like, what's that? And then
it's got nothing to do with that's a different movie.
I know that's like they pick on it on Scary Movie. Anyways, go on.
Yeah. But yeah, he's been portrayed by a ton of different actors, but my favorite would be from the first one, where he was played by Skeet Ulrich and Matthew Lillard, who play Billy and Stu. And I liked him because I picked him because he's one of the few just human slashers. Yeah, like I said earlier, and he's like he's always got like an actual motivation. Like the character, whoever, like, well, not the character, I guess whoever, the murderer's always got a real life motivation. Like Billy did it in the first one because the end girl, Sidney Prescott's mom, was sleeping with his dad, and that made his mom leave. So that's why he does it, and Stu is just his friend that he pressures into helping him murder people.
Word. See, I just know like they get with a girl and then like kill her. Like, is that what it like? Is it like they get like a girlfriend and then they like fuck with her?
Because in the first one he does, it is his girlfriend that he's fucking with throughout the whole movie. Okay, but that's not like the whole plot of it. That's not. Okay, that's kind of just.
You're like,
they kind of make it her boyfriend as more of a misdirection because they make you like the character. They make you think like, oh, this is a good guy.
There's no way it's him.
Yeah, it's more of a misdirection. But what it is always, it's usually because in the second movie it's Billy's mom that does it. And another guy who just wants to be, well, really, because Matthew Lillard pretty much he says he's pressured into it, but he kind of wants to do it to get famous. Yeah, and then in the second one, I
remember some stuff.
Yeah, in the second one, it's Billy's mom, and then she gets Timothy Olyphant's character. I don't remember what his name was.
Wait, it's a girl in the second one?
Yeah.
Oh my, okay, I haven't seen that one.
But they get Timothy Olyphant's character. She gets Timothy Olyphant's character to help him, or to help her, as because he just wants to become a famous serial killer. Like that's just that's kind of like what it was a commentary on, is our obsession with like serial killers as a society, you know. And it's also, the Scream movies are also kind of funny too. There's always like a little bit of comedy in there. It's a little meta. It kind of pokes fun at the whole slasher genre.
I like that.
And I always found that character, like that kind of, I guess, monster figure scary because he fucking runs. Like every other slasher doesn't seem scary because they're just walking. They just always happen to be in the right place at the right time. But the Scream character, like when you see him, he's fucking bolting at you with a giant fucking knife.
In a dumbass costume.
Yeah.
Wait, is Drew Barrymore in one of them?
That's okay. So I wrote down for all three of mine my favorite kills.
Okay.
And that was my favorite kill was Drew Barrymore.
I don't remember how it goes. I just know she's in one of them.
Well, it's not, the kill itself isn't exactly significant, but they actually promoted that movie like it was going to be a Drew Barrymore movie. Like a Drew Barrymore fronted slasher movie, but then they killed her off in like 5 minutes.
Oh, that's dope.
They have like the whole phone conversation of, do you like scary movies?
Yeah.
And he tells her like, oh, I have your boyfriend outside, and like guts her boyfriend and shit. It's pretty hardcore.
I do, I remember that. I don't think I've seen that whole thing, but I've seen that part. I watch a lot of YouTube shit, so things just get in my brain that I don't know.
I know I kind of spoiled the ending for you, but if you don't remember it much,
I don't.
You should go back and watch it. I think you would enjoy it because they're just good movies. They're kind of like detective movies because it's not, it's like Freddy or Jason. It's a supernatural power. Everybody knows who it is. There's not a lot you can do about it, but that whole, for the Scream franchise, it's always a mystery of like, we know this is a human doing this. This isn't a ghost. We have to figure out who's doing this to stop them.
Yeah, that is good. I like that. I will actually probably go back and watch those.
They're good. Especially the first two are really good movies. The third one wasn't as popular.
Is that the Drew Barrymore one?
No, the first one's the Drew Barrymore one.
Okay, then I'll watch that one for sure, yeah.
And the fourth one, a lot of people didn't like, but I remember liking the fourth one. They made the fourth one as it was supposed to be a reboot, but it still had the same people playing the same characters, but it was kind of, because the whole thing is so meta and kind of poking fun at the genre. Mm-hmm. They were like, let's poke fun at the genre by making a reboot that's just the fourth.
Oh, so it's just
So it's like a whole new group of high schoolers with a new killer that has different motivations, but then they still have the old characters in there that are basically doing the detective work.
Oh, word.
Like the Sidney Prescott, Courtney Cox, and David Arquette are all still come back.
That's cool. I like that.
So, and it also, since it was in the 90s, in the fourth one, they bring in like the whole social media aspect, and just it's more up to date.
Does that "What's Up" thing ever happen in a movie? Like, how did Scary Movie get that? Because they're like, "What's up?" And
it was a commercial.
Oh, okay.
It started out as like a beer commercial or something like that.
I just know Scary Movie picks on it, and I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
Like, what's that?
Yeah, it doesn't have anything to do with the movie. They kind of, because in Scary Movie, they do the same thing where the killer calls the people before they kill them and like taunts them on the phone.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing that it's always the same actor. His name is Roger L. Jackson, who does the voice work.
Oh, so okay.
And he what they do that's not normal in movies. Normally in movies, if you have a phone conversation, you're faking the conversation.
Right.
Like it's already recorded somewhere else. Like
Oh.
both sides are recorded separately.
Yeah.
But what they did with Scream to actually, they felt like it would make the characters a little more scared, like the actresses feel a little more creeped out. They actually had the guy in a different room. They weren't allowed to meet him, and he would call them, and like they actually had phone conversations.
That's dope. Okay, I'm gonna watch it.
Wes
now,
Craven's
so
a genius.
Yeah,
he's just
I'm gonna
hands
watch
down a
that shit.
genius.
That's good to know.
Also, I wanted to bring up for your last one that I forgot. Did you know Michael Myers, The Mask? You're probably not as familiar with it because you haven't seen the old ones. But The Mask is what's his name? William Shatner from Captain Kirk from Star Trek in the 70s. They were trying to come up with a mask, and they originally wanted to put a pumpkin on his head, but they couldn't figure out how to make that work. So they just bought this William Shatner mask from a store and painted it white, and that's what they used.
I did not know that.
Yeah. But,
word.
All right, what's your number 2?
All right. I could not find her name, but I didn't look hard enough, I guess, maybe. But the witch from Stay Alive. That's the one I was telling you last night that I'm like, I don't know if you'd consider it slasher because you said it wasn't a slasher movie.
It kind of is, I guess. It's considered a slasher movie, right?
Yeah, it was considered a slasher movie. But the witch, she just fucks up people from, like, I talk about this movie often. But basically, it's a video game. In the beginning, in order to even move on, you have to, like, read this prayer or wherever the fuck it is. And it, like, awakens this witch. And then you have to stay alive in the game in order to stay alive in real life, or this witch comes on like horses and carriage shit and kills you with like shears, these long like fucking shears. And she's dope and she looks scary.
I can't remember what she looks like.
She really reminds me of the witch on the new Resident Evil. Because she's tall and skinny and has the bun. She just wears red. Does the one in Resident Evil wear red?
I think she wears white.
Yeah, but
I haven't played the game yet though, so I don't know.
I've watched so much gameplay; it looks so dope. But the Stay Alive witch, I don't think she has a name, honestly. But
probably not. I don't remember. I haven't seen that movie in fucking 15 years. Though.
I watched it I watch it. I love it. But she kills people really awesome, and the one I'll never forget is because I made this sound forever afterwards. It's this guy's like standing on a balcony, and then like. She has a chain, like, I don't know how the magic happens because she's magical, and, like, hangs him from a chandelier. But when she, like, goes to push him off the balcony, she goes, ooh. And then I used to do that all the time, forever. I'd always
You just sound like a monkey.
Yeah. I just remember, like, it was supposed to be scary, and I saw her do that and just start busting the fuck up because it's so funny. Like, her face gets real close to the camera. It's like,
Wait, do you, let's go back again real quick. Do you have a favorite Michael Myers kill?
Ooh. I really like how he just like the kid, how he just fucks up his family. Like, he kills the dad too, right? Like, he kills his older sister and then, like, this shitty dad.
Yeah,
I
he
like
leaves
that.
the mom alive.
Yeah, and the baby sister. I love that because that's like he's literally traumatized at home. Like, they treat him like shit and he just fucks them up. I don't remember much of what he does otherwise. Like, they're all about the same kind of kills, aren't they?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, it's Rob Zombie, so it's just something brutal with a knife.
Exactly, and that's about it.
I did always like when he murdered the his classmate, his bully. That was probably my favorite. But
yeah, okay, that's true. Also, and so when I watched Stay Alive, it was for a youth group thing. I think I've talked about this.
Yeah,
and so there's a scene in it where these people are fucking with pig masks on. Do you remember that?
No.
Okay, so like in the beginning, like they're at a party and like the one brother, like, I don't know, he's fucking some bitch though with pig mask on. Like, it's funny. And then she just goes in there and fucks them up. It doesn't show how she kills them, but like you walk in and they're dead on the bed and there's blood all around the room. And that was pretty cool too. Like, she kills them all. Like,
I thought she killed them while they were playing the game, or they had to die in the game, and then afterwards she killed them.
Okay, so like if you stop playing the game, it's still playing. Like, they didn't know that at first. Like, you can't pause the game, and at first they didn't know that. So that guy like goes and fucks his girlfriend and just has it on pause, but she unpauses it. So, like, she's still playing for you. Like, you're still playing in the game. So she can kill you in the game, and then that kills you in real life.
While you're just out doing whatever the fuck you're doing. Yeah,
like, you have to be playing at all times.
Does your character in the game doing what you're doing?
Yeah, it walks where you walk and stuff. Like, when they get on the property of where she's at, like, in that cemetery, in that big tower, when you walk in the game, like, they'll be like, turn left, because they're having somebody watch your gameplay while you're walking in real life.
Okay.
Yeah, so, like...
Because they have Frankie Muniz watching the gameplay, right?
Yeah, and he's like, turn left, and the dude's like, holy fuck. Like, the brother that lost his family in a fire. That's, like, the main character, I guess.
Right.
He's like, holy fuck. Because, like, there's, like, a bar there that he needed. And Frankie's like, turn left, there should be a bar there. And they're what? Like, whatever happens in real life happens in the game.
Right.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite Michael Myers kill? Because I don't really remember any significant ones.
Well, just him killing his bully from that
was a good
movie.
One. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't see the original. Sorry.
I can't think of a particular one from the original. I guess the whole sequence, the same thing that you said, the opening sequence where he kills his sister was really good. But that's also, it was just the way, it was one of the first times that they used, like, that first person shooting was used in that way, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it actually follows him. You can see him put on the mask. Well, you don't see him, but you are him, and he puts on the mask, and then you are him as he's stabbing his sister and shit.
Oh, okay.
And that was really...
That is cool.
They weren't the first ones to do it. I think Black Christmas was the first one to do it as far as slasher movies, but that was one of the... It's like the one that got the most famous, because nobody really watched Black Christmas.
Word. I might go and watch the original, because I do like Michael Myers. But also, there's this Witch and Stay Alive, and the other good one is, like, you're not supposed to leave the group because you can kill her easier that way, but you need whatever they thought. And this girl goes in this abandoned house, and then she gets hung by, like, a chain upside down. It's, like, the only girl in the group. And the witch goes and just, like, slices her throat, and she just bleeds out, hanging upside down.
The movie seems really graphic for a PG-13 movie.
A Disney movie.
Especially the one that came out such a long time ago. They let a little bit more go now, but
yeah,
back then they were pretty strict.
That kill was pretty cool, though. Because you really, like, grow to like her because she was, like, this really nice, genuine human. And then she's just trying to, like, help her friend out, but she leaves the group and then gets hung and then, like, slit neck. It was gross. But, it was a pretty good movie. That Witch is dope. But what's your number 2, dude?
My number 2 is Freddy Krueger.
Mm-hmm. Really? That's a favorite?
Absolutely. You don't like Freddy Krueger?
He's the only one I don't like because it traumatized me when I was 7.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't really necessarily traumatize me. I guess I really liked it back when I was a little kid.
Oh, man. It's scary. Like, I loved horror, but I couldn't. I don't know.
Yeah, first appeared in Wes Craven's A Nightmare on Elm Street, portrayed by Robert Englund in every movie except the remake. Mm-hmm. He murders teenagers in their dreams, and they die in real life. He kills the children of the people that burn him alive for being a child murderer who avoided conviction on a technicality. He has horrible burn scars all over his body and wears a glove with blades for fingers. Has supernatural powers while in the dream, but if you can pull him into the real world, he loses his powers, and that's usually where he can be defeated.
Yeah. Didn't he also, like, do sexual things to kids, too? Like, wasn't that the thing?
That was the thing in the remake. They never said that. I mean, let's be real. Child murderers usually fuck the kids, too.
Yeah.
If it's real life.
If we're gonna be honest here.
Yeah. But they, I was actually reading today, Wes Craven left pedophilia out of it specifically. I guess pedophilia started to be like a big thing in the 80s. Like, a lot of people, when that movie came out, were getting caught. So he was like, you know what? We're getting caught being pedophiles. So he was like, you know what? I don't really want that to be a thing in this movie. I don't want people to look at this as a pedophile movie. I want them to look at it differently, you know? And it didn't, I don't know. Yeah. They just don't say that. They say that he just kills the kids in the movie.
Okay.
They don't necessarily ever say that Freddy Krueger is the one that did it either. Like, they kind of they kind of leave out that there's any evidence that he actually is the one that did it. It seems like it also could be like a mob mentality thing where everybody just assumed that he did it. Kind of a witch trial situation where he gets accused of it and everybody assumes that he did it.
Because he was like weird, right?
Yeah, just a weird guy.
I was 7 when I watched that. So, but I have rewatched that, but I think I was also like a young teen when I rewatched it. And yeah, I just remember him like being weird and people just pointed him out because of that, where like it made you kind of feel like he might not have even done it, but that's why he has all this like revenge and shit.
Yeah, that's why it feels like that's why he would come back, right?
Yeah,
because he was killed wrongfully.
Yeah, But I know in the remake they make it seem like he was a piece of shit. Like,
he was a pedophile.
Yeah, he was bad.
And they also in the remake they make it the kids that he's coming after in their dreams are the ones that he already molested.
Yeah,
and that's not the case in the original.
Yeah,
in the original they actually they filmed the scene that they left out of the original where they actually tell you that the kids that he's torturing in their dreams, killing in their dreams, all had older siblings that they didn't know about that Freddy Krueger killed. But that was something that I think Wes Craven left that out because he wanted it to be more ambiguous that whether or not Freddy Krueger actually committed the murders that he was murdered for.
You know, I should look into movies like you do. I'd probably like them more. You know, because you like have all this fucking knowledge. I'm just like, yeah, basically this is all I know.
I like the art of filmmaking.
That's how I feel about video games, though. I know a lot about like the details of that shit. But Freddy Krueger is a good one, and I almost considered him, but I like Michael Myers better, and I like the other two I said.
Is that me?
That's you.
That is me.
Oh my god, I'm like, yo.
I'm just gonna hang up. Right.
Fuck you.
It was my dad. I'll call him back when we're done.
Okay. I just got an email that Memphis Mayfire came out with a new song, and that's disappointing. Anyways, so no, I like Freddy Krueger though. I like how Rick and Morty like have his character that like bitch.
What do they call him? Scary Terry.
Yeah.
Scary Terry. And
you better run, bitch.
It was interesting because I decided to put my favorite kills in there this morning.
Ooh.
When I was watching when I was just watching like a Watch Mojo video of them doing the 10 best Freddy Krueger kills, and every other one was named like Bon Appetit, bitch, or something, get out of the way, bitch, or whatever. Like every other one had like bitch as the ending of what they titled the fucking kill, and I thought it just made me think of Scary Terry,
when he goes through the bed, like that bed one when he like
Johnny Depp, he sucks Johnny Depp underneath,
or doesn't he like drag a girl on the wall?
That's the one I put as my favorite.
That's the one favorite.
That's the one that as a kid did creep me out.
Yes, that's what.
Not even necessarily like the kill itself, but just the fact that her boyfriend is like in the corner, like helpless, like screaming, and she's just like dragging up the wall and just like blood going everywhere.
Yes,
it's
that
so
one's
traumatizing.
Yeah, I was 7, guys, 7, and I watched that. It was really hard. That was. Yeah, I just remember just trying to sleep, and I'm like, he's gonna be in my sleep. Like, because I think I had a dream about him that night, and that's what, like, the whole next day, I'm like, dude, I'm gonna die. Like, that was, like, my mindset then. But then, yeah.
I mean, that's just such a scary concept that you could just go to sleep, and somebody could just murder you in your sleep, and that would be it.
You can't control that.
Yeah.
You really can't control your sleep. Like, when you're exhausted, you're fucking exhausted. Like, you can't control that. So that's, like... Yeah, it was scary.
Yeah, and that's how like most of the movies end is the kids trying to stay awake.
Like that Freddy versus
Jason. You just know
Jason,
that it's not going to happen.
Because that kid was taking medicine that made him sleep, but he had to take it or else he's fucking insane.
Well, he had to take the medicine that made him not dream.
Was that what it was? Yeah. I thought it was he was like insane. So then I only watched that movie once because it does suck. But I thought it was like he was trying to. Okay. All right.
But yeah, they had to take medicine so they couldn't dream, so that way they wouldn't die in their dreams.
I thought it was
Freddy
more.
couldn't get them.
Okay. But yeah,
I think that medicine comes up throughout the series. I think I could be wrong. I might have just brought it in for that one.
How many?
I haven't watched the later ones in a while.
How many are there? Like, there's a lot.
A lot, yeah. There's got to be at least 11.
I watched the very first one. That's the one that traumatized. It was like Nightmare on Elm Street, the first one.
The third one, I remember really, really liking the third one. I haven't seen it in a long time. And I was actually trying yesterday. I was trying to find it. but I couldn't find it without renting it, which I still might do. I might rent it.
Sometimes I break and do that, but if it's not free on Amazon Prime or something, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, right.
Typically.
Yeah, same here. But yeah, I remember really liking the third one, and a lot of people really liked the third one, and they brought back the girl that was in the first one.
Oh, okay.
And then they brought her back for a New Nightmare too.
I never watched another, just saying, because like it did scare me, and so like Freddy versus Jason, and I think I watched like maybe
that movie's not scary at all.
Not at all.
It's kind of like an action movie, but not a good action movie.
And I watched the remake, which was like dumb. Like I didn't like it either.
Yeah, and like they had Freddy talk in that, but he wasn't like throughout the series. He kind of turned more almost into a comedic character where he was like
just stupid. Like I don't like that.
But in the first one, he wasn't really a comedic character. He was fucking scary.
He was fucking terrifying. Like,
and I think that's what they tried to do with the remake. They wanted him to be a more terrifying figure again, rather than being like a quippy.
Yeah, I didn't like it though. The remake was but. Yeah, Freddy, that's a good one. I really didn't think you'd be in your top 3, though, honestly.
What's your number 1?
So I thought maybe you would choose this one, but you don't like Stephen King. Can you guess?
Stephen King? Mm-hmm. Is it
Pennywise.
I was gonna say, is it the little kid from Us?
I knew you weren't going to say it if you didn't say it right away. Pennywise.
It's hard for me to consider him a slasher.
No, he comes back every 27 years. To do Derry was what I was saying. Derry, yeah, Maine. And every 27 years he comes back and just slaughters kids, dude. Well, how is that not a slasher?
I guess so.
Like
I suppose, yeah. You suppose he could. I just never looked at it that way. I never looked at Stephen King. Everything Stephen King does is almost on his own level. That when a movie comes out, I don't categorize it as anything but just a Stephen King movie.
True. It's like, what I mean? Yeah, you're right. But I guess his own category.
But I could see where, like, yeah, I could see where that's a slasher.
Yeah, because he like preys on multiple kids.
Yeah,
and just like he just finds their fears, and then he can like morph into like anything really. So like, and I did see the original when I was very little, and it terrified me, but that's not the one I like. I like the newer ones.
The original's mad cheesy now.
Yeah, like I was little when I watched that too, so it did scare me, but I watched the new ones and I fucking love them. Even the second one when they're adults, like it got a lot of bad reviews, but I loved it.
I thought it was fine. I felt like it could have used a little less funny.
Yeah,
like it didn't need to be funny
in it.
Yeah, but he did good enough when he was being serious. I don't think he needed. Yeah, I thought he did great, but I don't think. I know he was supposed to be a comedian as a character, but I still just don't see why they had to put so much funny in it when it's really a serious subject. It's a serious movie. In the first movie, that he was a comedian in that too, but he was not. Yeah, they didn't make it that funny. Yeah. You know, I didn't think they should take all funny out of it, but it felt like every couple of scenes they're like, we gotta have a joke in here.
Yeah, we gotta good punchline. Yeah,
let's lighten everything up because he just saw a kid get his head bit off. Like, well, let's figure out what we're trying to do. I did like that movie. I love
the first one. I bought it.
The first one's great.
I bought it like it's on. I have a CD of it, guy. Like that's disgusting. Like I feel old, but like I bought that because I felt like I need. Like I love that movie.
The first one's great. Like it's like the perfect horror mix with a coming of age film. Yeah. It's so good.
The actor for Pennywise is perfect. Although I watched it in theaters first and I busted up like twice. Like I could not control my laughter. The first one was when they're in the basement and like it's flooded, and then like at first you think it's Georgie and it's his brother coming down the stairs thinking it's Georgie, and then it turns into Pennywise and he goes across the water. Oh my god.
I know what you're talking about.
I died. Like holy fuck, that was so funny. Like these kids were sitting in front of us and they're like screaming and I'm laughing legit. Kaylin's like, stop it. And I'm like, no. And
no, it's funny.
And then the second one that made me laugh is when he's doing that dance down in his little dungeon thing.
That was kind of goofy.
That was so stupid. I'm like, stop. But other than that, really good. Like it has like all of them have their own story and it's very in depth. Like the daughter's like being like sexually abused and like controlled by her father.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I thought you were disagreeing.
Yeah.
I'm
oh
like,
yeah.
no, she
I was like,
definitely
"Are you
is.
stopped?" And I was like, "What? Am I supposed to agree or
no?
approve
Yeah.
of
You
that?"
are. Well, you gave a look like no.
Well, I was looking at the computer.
And then like that's the main one. Like the new kid that's like is in love with her, and then
That's the fat kid, right?
Yeah, the black kid with his parents that died in the fire.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And, I can't remember if they put, because there was a lot of racist shit in the original.
Yeah. Well,
I can't remember if they made it a racial issue in this.
They did with
remake.
The bully kid that Pennywise was controlling. They did go after him.
Yeah.
A few times because of that, but then he ended up fucking him up with that gun that he's supposed to kill goats or cows with or whatever. Like
yeah,
in the
like
end.
the bolt gun.
Yeah. So that was dope, but that was sad. And then like the dude that lost his brother, Georgie.
What's his name? Bill.
Yeah, and then the kid with the health issues because his mom was like that. Thought
Hypochondriac.
Hypochondriac. Yep. And then the dude with glasses that is on that famous Stranger Things, right? That's what he's on.
Yeah, Richie.
Yeah. I loved his character was awesome because he didn't believe in the thing for the longest time.
Yeah, he was the last one to get it.
And watching
then Stu, you've got Stu or Stan, the one who dies in the second one.
Oh, the Jewish
one who doesn't
one?
even the Jewish kid who doesn't come back.
Yeah.
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 He's also he doesn't want to believe it either.
Did he commit suicide?
Yeah, he cuts his wrists.
Yeah.
Before once he gets the call from is it Ben?
Yeah.
Ben's the fat kid.
Yeah, and he turns into like this.
The black guy calls.
Oh, does
calls
he?
Him. Yeah, the
black
guy.
I
can't remember what his name is now. Ben, because I think Ben is the fat kid.
I don't know. I'm bad with names. Yeah. You know that.
But either way, like he kills himself. He cuts his own wrists in his bathtub after he gets the phone call.
That's sad. Like they all have good stories, and they're all in depth too. Like they mix it in, and I love it. Like that's such a good movie.
Do you have a favorite kill?
No. Well, Georgie's the George cutting like that little kid. Like I love little kid actors because how the fuck are you gonna get a little kid to act like that? Like it amazes me. I know.
A lot of times they're terrible.
But like when he bites off his arm and then he's
like crawling away
with blood. That was such a dope. And it's right in the beginning. That was such a dope scene. Like
yeah, and it was perfect too because they like set it up like because in the original with Tim Curry one, they don't show any child death. You know, they really avoid that. They're like, we're not going to do that. They don't want to go that far. But then in the first one, in the first one, they're like, well, we're stepping over. We're going to show you right away, right off the bat. We are not coming away from anything. Like you are seeing it all.
Yeah.
Like, and I think my favorite was in the second one when he's in like the Hall of Mirrors and he's smashing his head against the mirror. That freaked me out so much.
Yeah, because those already scare me.
What, a Hall of Mirrors?
Yeah, that's like a low-key fear of mine. Like, I don't like that shit. So, like, that scene actually scared me. Like, it was a weird fear thing that just brought up in my... I'm like, okay, so I'm kind of scared of... Like, I went to one when I was little, and it terrified me. So, like...
You get lost.
Yeah, like, it literally terrified me. So, that scene was like, yeah, that was scary. He just keeps smashing his head. But the Georgie kill in the first one was pretty dope.
Yeah, it would be between those two. Because I don't know if there's even that many on-screen deaths in those movies if you think about it.
Yeah, that's why I was, like, thinking. I'm like, are there even that many deaths? Like, there's many close calls. Like, with the germ dude, he drops all his pills, and then that gross dude comes to him.
Yeah, that was a leper.
Yeah, that was disgusting. Like, that was like, dude, that's kind of a fear of mine because I don't like grossness. So I was like, no. But no, I think I just love that movie. Yeah,
that first remake is really, really good.
Who's the director? Do you know that? Like I don't.
No, I don't know. Yeah, I have no idea who directed those movies.
Whoever
I know I've read it before and I've read about him, but I can't remember what his name is.
The novel
or
was
even
made,
what else he's done.
Stephen King's novel was made in 1986.
Yeah, it was like over 1,000 fucking pages long.
Well, like in the original, they're like adults can't see them because they don't believe. Like you kind of have to believe in him to really see him.
Yeah.
But then it's kind of weird in the second one they see him, and they're adults because it's supposed to be like yo.
Well, they have like there's in the book I think they explain it more where they build up a connection because of it.
Okay. I wasn't sure. And they did like that Bond thing at the end, like in 27 years we're going to come back.
Yeah. Well, then all of them forget except for the black kid who stays in Deary. They all forget.
Yeah.
That I don't remember if they really like don't know if they really hit that home as much as they do in the original, because in the original they really hit that home, like we forgot everything. But the whole point is they all forget everything that happened until as soon as they get that phone call, all the memories come back. Yeah. And then once it's all over, the same thing happens. They leave Deary and they forget each other. They forget what happened. It's all just forgotten, which is why it's, in my opinion, fucking sad.
Yeah.
It's so, like, the ending, especially the second one, is so sad because, like, they really hit home. Like, we all forget each other. Like, we're all the best friends, grew up together. Aww. But that's also why it's such an effective coming of age film, because it is similar to what happens to everybody in real life.
Yeah, like dude.
Eventually you leave your hometown and then fucking
you forget,
or you stay and you just forget and stop talking, lose connection with all the people that you grew up with.
Yeah, it's such a good movie. I love it. What's your number one? I fucking love that movie.
Victor Crowley.
Yeah, you're right. I don't know.
Yeah, I figured you wouldn't. It's a real he first appeared in Adam Green's Hatchet. There's 4 different Hatchet movies, Hatchet 1, 2, 3, and a movie that's just called Victor Crowley, and they're special effects movies. They're practical special effects movies. The acting is always kind of subpar, and it's all about fucking awesome kills.
Like the Friday the 13th movies.
Kind of, yeah.
Very bad acting.
Exactly. They're way more recent, though. I didn't write the date down, but I think the first Hatchet came out in 2008.
Was it to copy that kind of shit, though? Like that kind of...
The director actually was tired of seeing horror movies use CGI.
Oh, okay.
So he wanted to make a horror movie and not use any CGI. The only CGI that they use is to cut out... to take out, like, string, like, if people are hanging on lines and stuff, like, just shit, like, little things that they can cut out, or, like, if equipment is seen, that's the only CGI they use. Like, the actual kills are all, like, practical effects using dummies and stuff.
Huh.
And that's why he made it. He wanted to make a movie that was for special effects, like, for people who like practical special effects. So, like, a lot of the acting, not that great. A lot of the whole plot line, not that great. But then when you get to the meat and bones of it is just fucking awesome kills, like awesome creative kills. And that's why I made him my number one, because every kill is satisfying.
What's a good kill? Like, tell me, because I've never seen him.
My favorite is he got a giant chainsaw, and these 2 guys were facing away from him, and he went up in between their legs with the chainsaw, both of them at the same time, and cut them in half, like lifted them up off of the ground with the chainsaw, cut them in half and shit. It's pretty fucking dope.
Okay.
And then there's another one where he gets a hold of a girl and twists her head off. And when they do it, they do this 360 camera trick where it starts like on his back and spins all the way around as he's twisting her head off until he twists it off, pops it off and shit. It's fucking cool. Like, especially if you have like the appreciation that I have for like the practical effects, and you watch it and you understand like, oh, what went into it. Like what these people had to create in order to.
So we actually use like skill and talent instead of just like
computers,
CGI. Yeah.
Not that, I mean, that takes skill too. It's just a different kind of skill.
Yeah.
It's more artistic.
Yeah, it's more creative.
And that's what cool. And that's why I picked them, because they try to do. They know what they're trying to do. They're not trying to tell you some fucking complicated plot. They're not trying to make it seem like it's a fucking Academy Award winning movie. They're like, we know you guys want to see awesome kills, and we're going to show you awesome kills that you've never seen before, or the kills that you have seen before, but done in a different way.
So like Jigsaw?
Yeah, kind of.
Because those are some fucking... Yeah,
they use CGI though.
Yeah, but those kills are like so... I can't watch them. Like, I've watched every single Saw movie. But have I actually seen it visibly? No. Because I am like, my eyes are closed. I'm like peeking.
I was surprised you didn't pick Jigsaw. I figured you would.
He's one of my honorable mentions. I have a few honorable mentions. I thought of a scary part in the It movie though, in the library. Ben, is that his name? The fat kid?
Fat kid, yeah.
I
think so. I could be wrong.
So I don't know how many times have you watched it, because it took me
couple
3
times.
Okay. So you know how the balloons in the back of that library, like, just staring at him, smiling because it's Penny?
Yeah.
That freaked me the fuck out too, because then he goes in the basement. There's like Easter eggs or something. Like something happens.
I don't know.
some makes him go into like the basement or the lower floor of the library, and it's just scary. Like, that whole scene scared me because, like, you just see the library in the background just staring at him, smiling. But I didn't see that the first time. It's like a background type thing you have to pay attention to, and then the balloon gets closer to him. Like, they do, like, weird shit with the balloon and stuff. It's just... Anyways, talk about yours. I thought about it, and I'm like, yo, that's a good scene, though. Like, I fucking love that movie. I'm going to watch what you said because the head twisting thing sounds pretty legit.
All of them are on Amazon Prime.
Really, like
all
free?
4 of them. Yeah. Word. I mean, so it's the edited versions because he releases because they go so over the top with what they're fucking with their effects and what they're doing.
So it's pussied down.
You can pay for the fucking. They make the unrated versions you have to pay for. And then the R-rated versions are free.
How much? Is it like a few bucks?
Probably only a couple of bucks.
Which one's the best one? I'm gonna buy it.
Well, the first and second one are really good. I wasn't a huge fan of the fourth one. Fourth one's got a cool story though, because by the third one they built the director kind of the movies themselves, I guess, kind of had developed this cult following, and a lot of people, especially people who really like
shit like that.
Well, people who were really into special effects really liked those movies, and they started doing like midnight showings of them. Where people, people would go and like just cheer at the kills and stuff, and it was like a club, kind of like what they do with Rocky Horror Picture Show.
That is cool.
But what the director did was he was like, I'm gonna have this special midnight showing of Hatchet 3, and I want everybody to come in and see. All my big fans come in, pay probably $100 a ticket or whatever it is, and I'm gonna be there and do a Q&A, and we're gonna watch Hatchet 3. And when everybody got in, they filled up the theater. He comes up on stage and he's like, I got bad news for you guys. We're not watching Hatchet 3 today. Today we're gonna watch the 4th Hatchet movie called Victor Crowley. And he never told anybody he was making it. He didn't say anything about it, did no press or anything. He just brought all these people who he knew were gonna be the hardcore fans of the series, and he told them they were going to watch one movie, and he just premiered his new movie.
So 3 was already out. They were going to go rewatch it.
Yeah, they were all going there to rewatch Hatchet 3 just because they could watch it with the director and do a Q&A with the director. And he just kind of sneak attacked them with the 4th movie instead.
That's cool as fuck. What a good guy.
Yeah, it's one of those movies. That's why he did it, because he knew it wasn't going to be this fucking critically acclaimed film. He wanted to. He knew who he was looking to attack. He knew was who he was looking for as fans, and it worked. It took a long time, because it took probably until the third movie before it really took off. But once it did, it was like that's what he wanted to do.
So when you said the Hatchet in high school, did you have to read the Hatchet?
Yes.
That's what I thought of and at first I'm like, the fuck? But then you went into I'm like,
yeah, that's about the kid that got stranded in the middle of the woods. Yeah, we read that.
I'm like, why are we okay, word. That's what I thought of though when you said that. I'm like, okay. But I've never even heard of that.
Yeah, they're very independent underground movies. The character Victor Crowley, he was born deformed because he was born. His dad was cheating on his wife with their, like, I don't know if servant's the right word, like one of their helpers. And I think his wife was sick, and this lady was coming in to help his wife, and he cheated on his wife with this lady. So his wife put a curse on the lady, and the curse made him born deformed, and it killed his mother in birth. But then the dad stayed and raised him until he was a teenager. But then a bunch of kids from the town came to his house to torture the kid, the deformed freak kid, and they accidentally set the house on fire. And while the dad was trying to get into the house, he was trying to chop his way through the door of the house to get into the house to save his son. And his son was on the other side of the door, and he accidentally went through the door and killed his son.
Wow.
And then ever since then, his curse, the curse just kept his spirit around. And anybody their house was in a swamp, and anybody that visited that swamp, the spirit of Victor Crowley would murder them.
Yo, that's cool. Okay.
And there's never, and this is going to kind of spoil it a little bit. There is like a final girl in, I think, the second, maybe even the first one. I don't quite remember. But a lot of the times, there's no hero. It's literally everybody dies.
So there's no happy ending. I like that.
I mean, it depends on what you want to consider a happy ending.
No, I don't like scary movies that have happy endings.
It's not. I wouldn't even say it doesn't have a happy ending. At the end of the day, if you're watching the movie, know that your hero is Victor Crowley. You're not wishing, you're not hoping that the people who get themselves you're not hoping that the kids that wander into the swamp make it out. You're watching it because you want to see all of them get ripped apart.
Yeah,
like the hero really is Victor Crowley, and that's how every one of them ends. Him just murdering everybody. One or two people may get out, but then they just come back in the next movie and get fucking killed.
Yo.
And then they have this one character. He's played by Perry Shen, and he just keeps coming back in every movie, but he just plays a different character.
Oh.
And they kind of point it out because he's Asian, and somebody will say like, "Hey, you look familiar," and he'll be like, "Oh, you think all Asians look the same?"
Yo,
but they're all none of them are related. None of them are supposed to be related.
Okay. No, I'll at least watch I'll rent the first one because I want to see all the good. I don't want to see an edited version.
The first one's got the head twist off scene, which is like one of the best ones. And I think it's the second one that has the chainsaw scene or the chainsaw kill.
See, with the whole happy ending thing, that's why I liked Friday the 13th, even though the one with Kevin Bacon, even though acting so bad. But I love how at the end, like, you think it's a happy ending. She's in the boat, she survived, she's doing great, and then Jason comes up and fucking gets her. But does she end up living, though? Because she does wake up in the hospital. But it's
in the second one.
It's just, like, terrifying to me because I remember watching that, being scared. I was little. Then she's in the boat, and you're like, okay. And then, like, Jason comes up and I screamed. I remember that. I'll never forget that.
That one's such a strange ending, too, because there's nothing... They don't really... It feels like before that they cap it off with it not being like supernatural at all, you know, because it's his mother that does the murders.
Very weird. It was very weird, and then she like wakes up in the It is,
but it's not. She doesn't wake up in the hospital until the second one.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, what's the scene? Well, like she's in the boat.
Yeah, and
he's a kid and grabs her,
and that's how it ends.
No, then she wakes up. I just watched that, and then she wakes up in the hospital after that, like it was a dream to her.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it in a really long time.
Because I thought it ended like that too. And then must be they redid it or like meshed them together. It's the same actress,
no, you could be right. I could just be wrong.
But I thought you were right. Because I thought it ended like that too. Because I was like, whoa. And then she wakes up in the hospital like, oh, I was just... Because they're like, are you okay? And she's like, I was just dreaming. But it's like, no, you should have died. Like, why?
Yeah. Why even have... Movies that end with a dream sequence are fucking stupid. Like, fuck that.
Yeah, like, it shouldn't. Like, I love Rob Zombie movies, but he really fucking extends the endings. Like, in, what's the one when they're in the tunnel underneath that one girl? And they're all like dressed up like bunnies and shit.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yes, you do. It's either House of a Thousand
House of a Thousand Corpses. Okay. Yep, okay.
So, like, they're in the tunnel underneath, and you want her to die at least, or something to happen, but he just keeps going. It's like Killer.
Doesn't it just kind of end?
Shit falls on her. She's still alive. Like, it just keeps... Well... It was so awful.
That was his first movie, and he was coming up from just only directing music videos.
Yeah.
Well, and at that point, I just don't think he knew how to, like, extend the movie. Because if he didn't do shit like that, the movie would be, like, less than an hour long. Because it's not a long movie as it is.
Do you agree they overdid the ending of that movie?
I mean,
they did it in the second Halloween too.
It's not that he I don't think that it's that he went too long with it. It's that he should have filled in. He should have found something to fill in parts before that.
Yeah.
So he didn't have to make the ending that long. You know, he definitely did. He definitely went too far with that. Like, it went real far with that ending.
The problem
wasn't that though. The problem was that there wasn't enough that happened before that.
That he just didn't film, so he's like, can't really go back now, so I gotta extend this shit.
And it's the same thing how they would do like those random like little music things of his wife stripping and shit. It's because he didn't. It's because he needed to make a movie that was long enough. Because he didn't know how to make a movie at that time. It was his first movie. And that scene where the guy's got the gun to the cop's head, and it's like fucking a minute and a half long.
It's like
of the crane shot of the camera just coming out.
That music video shit is so funny. Like, they're about to murder, and she's like dancing like a stripper, like making out with dead bodies, and she's like, "Fuck yeah!" Like, it's like
and it's just randomly just slammed in the middle there, and that's the only reason he did is because the movie wasn't long enough.
Halloween 2, though, he extends the ending too. You think Michael Myers is gonna die so many times, but it comes back to fuck the life, and it's so annoying. It's like, either die, we know you're not, or like some good, just end it. But he really extends the second one too, and that was so frustrating because I watched that. on Halloween. Because I was like, yeah, and I thought it was going to be the first one because it was on normal TV, and it wasn't. It was the second one. And it really made me upset. I was like, this is stupid. Do you have any honorable mentions? I already know.
Well,
Leatherface. Chucky? Yeah.
Chucky's a good one. That was actually one. I think I replaced Ghostface with Chucky because I remembered Ghostface. I was like, I kind of like that one a little bit better.
You like Leatherface, though.
Yeah, I do like Leatherface.
That
Leatherface
has to be an honorable mention. Not Jaws.
I'm wearing a Leatherface shirt.
I know. So we don't want to consider Jaws?
No, Jaws can fuck off.
Or the Piranha
Jaws is
movie?
that's a creature feature. That is not a fucking slasher movie. Jaws is not a slasher. I hate that. That drives me nuts.
I don't like Jason that much. I do like Friday the 13th, that one movie, but I don't.
I think Jason looks cool.
Yeah, but like his story's
really cool
stupid.
looking.
Like he
barely has a story. There's no reason for him to come back.
Yes, he does. He has a story.
But why does he come back,
fucking.
though?
Lifeguard, he wants to get back at all the because he goes after the ones because they weren't paying attention to him. He couldn't swim. Lifeguards were like fucking and making out and stuff instead of paying attention to him. So then he drowns. So then he wants to kill all of the lifeguards and camp faculty. Crystal Lake people.
Faculty.
Camp faculty.
I thought you were talking about the name of the camp.
Oh no, like he just wants
He's trying to kill the camp counselors.
Yeah, faculty.
Faculty.
50 cents for a good word. That was a good word. But no, like, he has a story, but it's stupid. Like, get over it.
I just don't understand how he came back. Like, how he came back. And then there's the one fucking thing where, for some reason, fucking Corey Feldman brings him back to kill him because he thinks bringing him back will end the curse somehow. And it makes no fucking sense.
Yeah, it makes no fucking... I don't like Jason that much. I do like Leatherface. I love the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies.
I mean, I liked the remake. A lot of the reason I didn't put Leatherface on was because we already did an episode where I talked about the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, I didn't care. I put Stay Alive Witch on that bitch. I was like, I don't care. She's dope. No, I like the beginning. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the beginning, when it explains like why he's the way he is. That was even a good movie. Have you seen that one?
I don't think I saw that one.
It just explains like how the town like went through like this drought and they weren't having like they couldn't eat. So they just resorted to using him to kill people so they could eat.
Yeah, so they could eat
like,
evil.
Their crops weren't growing. They had no like cows and stuff. So they're like, yo, you're a murderer. Go kill all these people and then we can eat. So that's kind of how it started and then it just continued. Like they were just bad people. Right.
I suppose the reason I didn't pick him is because it is kind of a weak backstory.
But honestly, his family isn't his family.
As a character, he doesn't have a personality. You know,
but
he's just like a guy.
But in the beginning one, he does have so like the family that are in those movies aren't his family. They adopted him because whoever had him, you don't know, put him in a dumpster because he was deformed. Yeah. So then like they're just like, oh baby, and then they raised him. So like you don't even know who his real family is. He's just like this deformed murderer or serial killer, and then they use him to just like be able to eat. So I mean, like, I feel for him. You know, he's a good guy deep down inside.
So is that your honorable mention then, Leatherface?
Yeah, I do. I thought you were gonna have him on your top 3. So
no,
but yeah, he definitely is. I do like those movies.
It definitely crossed my mind, but I'm happy with the ones that I picked. I like the ones that I picked.
love. Yeah, this was a good one. I like this one.
All right, well, let's call it then.
All right.
That was everybody's top 3 slashers. Thanks for listening.
Peace out.